And welcome back. Football is where we begin. Technical Director at Cavalier SC, Rudolph Speed, says his complaint to the Competitions Committee of the JFF was never about Mount Pleasant FA. Renardo Brown reports.
Technical Director at Cavalier FC, Rudolph Speed, believes the ruling handed down by the Competitions Committee of the Jamaica Football Federation failed to address the main concern in the issue filed against Mount Pleasant FA, which is the eligibility of Haitian players Angela Excelus and Judy Johnson. Both Johnston and Excelus featured for Real Hope during their CONCACAF Champions Cup game against Cruz Azul on February 4 and 11. According to Cavalier's complaint letter to the Competitions Committee, the players' participation during the CONCACAF tournament came after they were out of contract with Real Hope. In a letter to Cavalier on Tuesday, the Competitions Committee did not state whether the players in question remained eligible to Mount Pleasant or if they had committed any breach by representing two clubs during the same time frame. In fact, the letter to Cavalier stated, quote, "The JFF Competitions Committee have in its possession all the termination letters and international transfer certificate, which indicates that the players were duly transferred to Mount Pleasant FA. What is clear is that the breach was done by the players' former club and not Mount Pleasant FA," end quote. Speaking to TVJ Sports, Speed, who has not explicitly expressed an interest to appeal the decision or to consult a higher body than the JFF, believes a bad precedent has been set by not taking action against the two Haitians who he feels were at fault.
I am not after Mount Pleasant. I am saying that those two players with a contract in Mount Pleasant from January would have been collecting money, go play for Real Hope. And I don't understand why they're getting away with it. The players, I'm not talking about the club. I don't care about the points not deducted. I am saying those two players. What is the status with them? That was never made clear to us. It's one thing to say you have a letter that did something before January, but what are their actions? So even the letter that was written by Real Hope saying that them should them sell the player them in January, what is Real Hope action when they play the players?
It's important to note that by Cavalier's own admission and submission, they claim the players were registered February 26 and 28 and not in January. The letter to Cavalier did not state when the Competitions Committee received the documents for transfer or when the transfer was completed. In relation to the $25,000 fine levied on Mount Pleasant for the naming of 7 foreign nationals on a match card, Speed says this issue has highlighted the need to revisit the rules that governs the competition.
Well, the first one about the number of players, in fact and in fairness, the rule is a little bit vague. I don't think the rule was written properly, although the intent was for anybody who use excess player, the player would be ineligible. But it vague, so I'm fine with me not go fight it because the ruling by itself vague.
In explaining their decision, the committee noted, from the match card received, the committee noted that only 5 players participated in the game. On the issue of the players being registered by Mount Pleasant FA and Real Hope on separate systems, Speed had this suggestion.
Yeah, I think we should all use one system. FIFA Connect is what is used mostly in the world, and I think everybody should go there because it makes life easier.
Renardo Brown for TVJ Sports.